plantation after the plants are planted. And what is this mechanism? It is a worker, a tanker, and a facility for watering the plants, and then the evaluation mechanism through the panchayat secretary. So after we do the plantation, we make sure that they are watered, they are protected. A tree guard is necessarily put. You will also find in your tomorrow's field visit that there is never a tree planted, or there is never a tree that exists which is without a tree guard or a broader fencing. So this protection of the tree and its watering and its monitoring and ensuring casualty replacement has resulted in a very big development of plantations outside the forest. And what we do inside the forest, I will share briefly. So apart from this, the village level infrastructure and the urban level infrastructure which is there in place in all the urban bodies as well, this Telangana Ku Haritaharam program, big part of it is driven by the political executive. All politicians at various levels, be it mandal level or village level or town level or even the state level. And so much so that the green challenge movement in Telangana also has become so popular. I throw a challenge to so and so, and then that person plants a tree and throws a challenge to another person. So the cycle goes on, and it has attracted a lot of celebrities also into this movement. So from all walks of life, we have people participating in Telangana Ku Haritaharam program, which has resulted in such a big change, a positive change in it. I am very happy to notice this and share with you, because we have run generations of plantation program, and all of us, even at a very young level as district collectors, DMs, we have run many plantation programs, and most of them resulted in very minimum or questionable outcomes. But this is one program which, because of a consistent approach and laying very strong foundations and putting in place very genuine mechanisms, it has actually resulted in a very big positive green development of the state. And the most revolutionary of it has come recently from the Honorable Chief Minister, when he announced establishment of Green Fund. And this Green Fund is a levy on all government expenditures. Any expenditure that is taking place from the government side, be it payment of salaries, be it payment of contractors, from every one of them, a levy is laid, and then certain amount is collected, and this amount is kept in a separate bank account with the Principal Chief Conservator of Forests. In addition to government expenditure, all the revenues that government earns in the form of licenses, fees, etc., also certain levies are laid. Now this Green Fund is an independent budget or independent fund kept at the disposal of the Forest Department, totally free from the budgetary controls, and a highly flexible budget. We are very excited and are busy in getting it operational. And lastly, I would like to share with you our marvelous expenditure with experience with urban forests. It is similar to Nagar One scheme, but our scale is simply massive. We have initially started with 109 urban parks which are close to the towns. Now we have expanded to 170 plus locations, which include a lot of conservation blocks also. Now we have covered 1,70,000 acres of forest land under these urban forests. As we all know, urban forests are highly vulnerable from the point of view of encroachment. So first task is to build a fence, a permanent fence, or construct a wall, depending on the threat perception. So we have protected the boundaries, and we have taken up a massive program of tree plantation and rejuvenation inside these parks. And this is also a partnership effort with people. So we create stake for them by creating certain amenities and charging them. So people are as much a part of the development of these urban forest parks. So that is one major feather in our cap too. And lastly, in the last 1.5 years of my association with the department, since the national level team is also present, I would like to share a few points. First is that in the wildlife management, forest, fire management, etc., we have leveraged technology a great deal. But when it comes to encroachments and prevention of tree felling, I don't see that as much. So I am sure the national team will particularly focus. We have ourselves gone and studied certain models in Karnataka, but they are still at the stage of infancy. We are also trying to emulate them. But I think given the explosion of population and that there is no land anywhere, and forest is the only land available, so that makes forest very vulnerable. If we can put in place a mechanism which ensures that the forest is also protected, and any infringement or any offense is quickly detected and acted upon, if some such effort can be put in place, I am sure it will go a long way. I am particularly trying to flag this point because the tiger initiative that is taken by the at the national level, how it has resulted in laying down an elaborate structure, elaborate system of monitoring, and finally resulted in very positive development in increasing the tiger population. So I am sure if there is a national level effort and then there are which is synergized by the state level initiatives, we will very soon have such a beautiful, good, robust system to protect our forests as well. So I would like to once again extend a warm welcome to you all and thank the national team, especially the DG Forest and his officers for choosing Hyderabad as the venue of this workshop. Thank you all.
Thank you, Madam. Madam Shanti Kumari Garu. She is an IAS officer, special CS, Forest. In Telangana, the culture is so that every officer, be it an IPS and IAS, in addition to what they are doing, they are also forest officers. That's a culture which got inculcated into because of this Haritaharam and all these things. That's what we are seeing here. Similarly, one day I went to CSR, Chief Secretary's chambers, and there the discussion was going on that high resolution satellite imageries to find out where are the gaps on the highways in the forest and other areas where planting can be taken up. That means in addition to that means so much forestry has gone into every officer here. Now it's a turn. I invite our Chief Secretary, sir, Somesh Kumar sir is here. C. Somesh Kumar IAS, Chief Secretary, Government of Telangana. I invite you, sir, to deliver the address.
So a very good morning to all of you. Honorable Minister for Forest, Shri Indrakaran Reddy Garu, Honorable Minister for IT and MAUD, KTR Garu, Shri Chand Prakash Goyal Garu, Director General of Forest and Special Secretary, Ministry of Environment and Forest, my colleagues, Special CS Forest, Shanti Kumari Garu, PCCF Sova Garu, PCCF Lokesh Garu, then PCCF and CEO of CAMPA, Shri Subhash Chandra Garu, Sunita Bhagwat Garu, and all the senior officers, PCCF, who have come, and I can see amongst you many of my friends, some of whom I will be meeting after maybe Mazuri days, 30 year plus. Yes, so a very good morning and welcome to Hyderabad. As you know, Hyderabad is a unique confluence of tradition and technology. We are really fortunate to host you and meet you. It is in a way recognition of the work being done by the government of Telangana. A very clear vision is there that we need to improve our forest cover from 24% to 33% and thereby tackle all the issues of climate change, etc. Today I recall the first meeting which our Honorable Chief Minister had on this topic. This is long back. Within 1 week of his assuming charge of Chief Minister in 2014. That secretariat is not there, but in that room, many of us were there. And the meeting lasted for more than 4 or 5 hours. He really showed his concern that if we don't safeguard our forest and actually improve it, we will be nowhere. The development should not mean that there is destruction. he came out with a multi-pronged approach. He went back into his days when he was the first MLA in a place called Siddipet. He talked about he wanted to do some plantation. And he went around searching for plants, and he could hardly get few hundreds. And perhaps that day he must have decided that one day we will see that Telangana becomes totally green. And he shows that commitment every day. Today, if you look at Telangana, in all the 12,769 Gram Panchayat, there is a nursery. Our Honorable Minister will talk about the urban area also. We have more than 1,600 nurseries. So we are actually, each and every Gram Panchayat and almost a couple of wards in the urban area, they raise nurseries. The technical support is provided by the Department of Forest, but it has a lot of involvement of the people's representative, the sarpanches, and all other people who make it happen. It is not just that plantation is seen as a photo opportunity. It is a very serious business. It means that each and every plant that we plant needs to be protected. And it did not stop just by telling it. The Honorable CM went for new legislation. He provided certain sections in the Gram Panchayat, new Gram Panchayat, the Panchayat Raj Act, as well as the Municipal Act, certain sections. These sections were that 10% of the entire budget has to be called earmarked for green budget. And I am happy to tell you that today 302 crores was the budget from the Panchayat side. The urban side, it was more than 620 crores. So that means every year about a 900 crore directly from the municipal budget and the Gram Panchayat budget goes for greening. It did not stop there. There is a clause that if a public representative who is responsible for his area and the plantation survival goes below 85%, he may be thrown out. So these are the kind of things which have been done, and that's why it has been made so successful. In addition to that, every Gram Panchayat today has a tractor, it has a trolley, it has a tanker. And the number, as I told you, runs into 12,769. So it is not just you do something, but you make all the arrangement to ensure that each and every plant which is planted actually survives. Now we have gone for new things. As my colleague Santi Kumari said, that we have now a Telangana Harit Nidhi, which basically means Telangana Green Fund. Every registration which happens now in Telangana, 50 rupees goes for Telangana Harit Nidhi. And similarly for everything. The honorable ministers, the MLAs, the people's representative will be contributing rupees 500 per month. We also contribute money. Each and every employee contributes money, and we have taken from them a kind of an undertaking that they are interested. So huge impact which is possible to do that. So based on CM's directions, his vision, we have taken certain things which are very unique. One of them with which I have been also involved personally is known as Palle Prakriti Vanam. Translated into English means a rural nature park. So today I am very happy to tell you that 19,472 such Palle Prakriti Vanam or the rural parks are functioning in Telangana, which means that each of them has 1 acre of land, and it is a very dense plantation on the Japanese model, 4,000 plants, a walking track and cement benches. Now across Telangana, it has become a brand and reminds people that there is a chief minister who takes so much of initiative and has so much of love for greenery. Seeing the success of that program, we have launched another program. We call it Brihat Prakriti Vanam. So 1 acre was okay, but can we do for more? So now we have more than 1,812 such Brihat Prakriti Vanam, which are more than 5 acres. So that has also spread. Earlier we were seeing 1 row of plantation across the roads. both sides of the road. We felt that it should be multi-layered. So when you travel on these roads, it should be a visual retreat. It should show you the color of Telangana. And therefore, we launched a program called MLAP, Multi-Layer Avenue Plantation. So it has 3 layers toward the road, the short heights, middle heights, and the big one. I'm happy to tell you that today we have 8,304 kilometers already planted under this MLAP. So I can keep on going, but I would not like to bore you. The Honorable Minister will speak about 109 urban parks which have been there, which has become, we call them oxygen parks also, because they are very close to Hyderabad and really have become like an oxygen factory. While I talk all this, I sometimes wonder that whether you will go with a feeling that we also, every state needs somebody like our Honorable Chief Minister Shri K. Chandrasekhar. But till the time you get a person with such passion, there are other things that you can do as an officer, as an individual. When I think of this, I am reminded of the forest man of India, Mr. Jadhav, who single-handedly in the Majuli Island near Jorhat, brought 550 hectares of, very hostile land which was unarable under deep forest. There are other examples all of us have done, like thousands of acres of silver oak plantation, my friend Chiranjeevi knows, and Pratik, everybody knows, that we brought an entire area of Paderu under, silver oak and coffee plantation. In Anandpur, a new program called Chinta to Nischinta, which basically means plantation of tamarind trees, became such a famous thing. And today, we have more than 60,000 acres. What I mean to say that if you decide that you will see that India becomes green, it becomes immune from the vagaries of nature and particularly climate change, it is possible. And definitely, we all can do it. And perhaps this visit will inspire all of us to work on these programs. I would like to thank Honorable Ministers for giving me this opportunity, and particularly thank Mrs. Sobha that in her last month, when she has got couple of days, there cannot be any better tribute and way of celebrating her career as PCCF. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving an insight about the initiatives taken at the government level for greening of Telangana. And now, because we know that today's workshop is being jointly organized by Government of India and also Government of Telangana, and the brain behind for this workshop to happen today is none other than the head of the Forest Department in Government of India, and he is with us now. May I invite Sri Chandraprakash Goyalji, Director General of Forest and Special Secretary, MOE of Government of India, to address the gathering here.
Good morning to all of you. Honorable Minister Shri A. Indrakaran Reddy Sahib, Honorable Minister Shri KT Ramarao Sir, Shri Sumesh Kumarji, Chief Secretary, Government of Telangana, Shrimati R. Shobha, PCCF and Head of Forest for Telangana, Shrimati A. Shanti Kumari, Special Chief Secretary, Telangana, Shri Subhash Chandra, CEO, CAMPA, Shri Lokesh Jaiswalji, and Shri Akbar, CCF, Andhra Pradesh. A warm welcome from my side to all of you, and I also welcome all the PCCFs and head of states from the different state departments, my colleagues from Ministry of Environment and Forest, the friends from media, and all other dignitaries. So today we have gathered here to discuss various issues on forestry and wildlife, and also the examples that the Telangana has set for us. As has been mentioned, and as we all of has been seeing during the recent past, Telangana has really done wonderful work as far as the forestry is concerned. The achievement speaks volumes about the efforts that have been put in by the officers and also by the political leadership that is in Telangana as of now. The increase of 7% in 5 years from 2015 to 2020 is really a great achievement by any standards, and I congratulate the honorable ministers on the dais and also the PCCF on my behalf and also on the behalf of the ministry for this tremendous task. I really think that all of us should really take it as an example for all of our states and should try to adopt the best practices that have been done in the Telangana. As the Chief Secretary Sahib was saying that the Hartima Nidhi and Telangana ka Harit Haram, all these schemes are worth emulating, and I think as and when we get an opportunity in the states, we should try to have them in our state activities in whatever best possible manner we can. As far as the Government of India is concerned, Government of India is committed to the increase in forest cover. Our forest policy mentions increase to 33% of the total land mass. Recently, our Honorable Prime Minister has also mentioned that our NDC commitments will be to increase the increase additional carbon sink of 2.5 to 3 billion tons of carbon dioxide by 2030. And forestry is certainly one of the main